I'm a recovering addict, so I went to multiple pain clinics since I was like 18. Each doctor gave me more and more and more until I was finally on an obscene amount every time. Like if I would go to the hospital for something, because I had a lot of stomach issues from a gastric bypass surgery. It like to the point where like I was dying. I went from 333 pounds to 95 pounds in 8 months. And my doctor looked at me because I went there. My blood pressure was 60/40. She's like, go to the hospital, you're dying. So I was having a lot of stomach problems because I actually had a blockage in my jejunum, which is like, I believe it's the second set of intestines. So I had like 16 scopes in 1 year. It finally got to the point where they ended up reversing my surgery to, make me not feel like that, even though they had never reversed it before. But each doctor would give you more and more, and it got to the point where when I would go to the hospital and tell them what I was on, just for my stomach problems, to try to get them to like fix it, they wouldn't even believe what the doctor was prescribing me because it was so high. People that are prescribed pain pills, when they take them for so long, you get this horrible physical these physical symptoms when you don't have them. You're throwing up, you're going to the bathroom, sweats. It's miserable. So when people that are addicted to pain pills can't get pain pills, they go to heroin. That's just kind of like the progression. So with there being nowhere to go, it's hard. So fast forward to January 2014, I was using, and I was at a drug house one night, and I got raped. And as dumb as it sounds, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because the next morning I woke up and I was like, if you weren't there, that couldn't have happened. And I never touched a drug again. And it's sad that you have to hit that rock bottom to be able to quit something like that, but it's so hard to get help out here. So when that happened, I went to like 110 meetings in 90 days. After, I started my recovery, and I don't want to say master it because you never master it, but once I was comfortable, I started doing something in NA called HI&I, which is hospitals and institutions. So I was going into the women's CCA in Youngstown, which is like a halfway house, and I was helping lead the NA meetings in there to help get these girls off of drugs. But so after I got clean, I got into a car accident and broke my hip, and I was in a nursing home for 6 months, and back on pain pills because I had a broken hip. And my doctor, who is the only doctor that I felt like never gave up on me, she was like, listen, you should go on methadone, like it's a good program. So I went on methadone in December of 2014, and I've been on it ever since, and it completely changed my life. But when I met this girl, it was sad because she was me. I used to go from, she called me to go from one hospital to another, then she wanted to go to another, and that's what I used to do. That's what you do when you need pain pills and you don't have them. You go from one hospital to, a doctor to another, and this girl broke my heart, because when you have problems, in your stomach, like I had with the blockage from my gastric bypass, or, like she had from Crohn's, people can't see it, so they don't know that you're in pain. But I just completely empathize with this girl because I was her, and it's not a way to live. It's miserable. So I, throughout the course, of the day and a half that I was around this girl, I spoke to her about how much going to treatment at the methadone clinic had changed my life and things like that. When I met this girl, my full intent was to try to help her. When you go to an A, the first thing they tell you is never tell an addict no. NA is a type of program where they believe that the road to recovery is through each other. Sharing your experience, faith, and hope with people. And that's what I was trying to do with this girl. And it's a really sad situation. I'm real, sympathetic, because somebody lost their daughter or their sister, but it just, people don't understand that I just really empathized with this girl, and she really needed someone to care about her. Like, even in the emergency room, I hadn't known the girl but 2 hours, and I sat in the emergency room with this girl and held her hand while they gave her an IV. The next day, when she called me to come back, they said they were treating her bad, and I called the patient advocate for her, and advocated to her that they were treating her wrong. Like, I know it sounds dumb that we like befriended in so little time, but I mean, I really felt like I needed to at least, try to help her and share, my experiences with her, and we did get fairly close, but there isn't any help out there for when you're addicts. And now I just feel like people don't understand all the details. They think that they see the charge, they see that I got convicted, and they just think that I'm a drug dealer, and that couldn't be farther from the truth or anything like that. But now I have sentencing in 2 days, and I have premature twins that were born on January 3rd. They weren't due till February 24th, so technically they're only a little bit over 2 months adjusted, and one needs surgery next month, the other one, and then he needs another surgery in July. He has a lot of big medical conditions, and it's looking like I'm not going to be there for those. So, and my twins, I was blessed to have them, because my last twins were born at 5.5 months, and they're no longer with us. But so I'm not going to be here for them. I'm not going to be here to see them crawl or to see them walk. And I have a beautiful little 3-year-old girl. She'll be 3 in about 2.5 weeks. I have a 4-year-old son. My 11-year-old son's finally home, but he'll be 12, in about 2.5-3 weeks too. And I'm not going to be here for none of that. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's all because I was trying to help somebody, and I don't feel like that's fair, but I made mistakes, but I just don't think people fully understand understand everything. But this is really gonna affect my children. I am sorry for the family's loss. Nobody I wish I could say I don't know what it's like to bury, a child, but I buried 2, and it's the worst thing you'll ever go through, and I am sorry for, their loss. Don't not help somebody, because, addicts need other addicts. That's the only way that, we can say clean us through each other, but, give them numbers, talk to them on the phone, talk them through it, anything that you need to. Give them rehab information, give them treatment center information, make sure they contact somebody professional, give them a meeting list, do things like that, but don't not help them, because of my situation, because, that's the only way that we're going to be able to overcome our addiction is through each other.